Hey guys, I'm Brandon Mull. Welcome to my house. Come on in. Guys, if you're here with me right now, you must be at my Fablehaven launch party. You are going to get an exclusive inside look at my tiny basement office. Come on. This is where I write my crazy books. My office is full of all sorts of weird stuff because that's what keeps my imagination fresh. A lot of the stuff in my office kind of comes from people who've given me presents that makes them think of my books or whatever. For example, over here we have a lovely hydra that was given me by my sister Summer because she thought it looked like the cover of book 4 a little bit. Or we have some dragons right here, like in Dragon Sanctuary. Or this centaur was given to me by a school because it put them in mind of the centaur on the cover of book 3. Over here, a school gave me a little Mendigo statue. They felt like it was like the Mendigo from all the Fablehavens. This statue of Hugo was made for me by my publisher. See, some publishers give their authors plaques. Mine give me statues of golems. And the statue of Golem, way cooler. I love to have weird stuff in my office, and one of the weirdest things I have is this skull. My sister Summer got me this skull at Gary Coleman's garage. You know Gary Coleman, the kid from Different Strokes? He has this little gift shop in his garage. And so here is a human skull, not a real human skull, bought from Gary Coleman. Isn't that cool? Fun little weird anecdote. All right, well, this is only part of the dungeon under our house where I kind of have my pad where I hang out. Over here is where I kind of goof around, my kind of game room. Where I watch movies and play video games. As a writer, part of my job, is writing books. And the other part of my job is I travel a ton. I mean, sometimes I'm even gone on holidays and occasions when I'd like to be at home.
Last Valentine's Day, he wasn't here. But he was very sweet, sent me flowers anyway.
That's my wife.
So I get to be Brandon's first editor. He writes a chapter, edits it, and then I get to edit it. I've done a couple of fun things that I'm a little proud of. I have some veto power. He wanted to make Vanessa blonde. And I said, I'm tired of all of these women being blonde when your wife is a brunette. I said, make her look more like me. She turned out more like Angelina Jolie, but I'm still happy that she's a brunette. So when we moved into this house, I bought Brandon a beautiful desk, a beautiful computer with a nice big monitor for his writing. And where does Brandon write? He writes on the floor, writing on his laptop.
You write a book in the hopes that people will read it, right? I mean, those words on the page don't do anybody any good. The story really only comes to life in the mind of readers as they read it. And so a big part of what I have to do for my job is just promotions and publicity. I was surprised how big a part of my job that was. Like, I never pictured that I would be doing a photo shoot for a magazine cover. Like, male model was never part of my resume, but that ended up being part of my job. Like, I sometimes have to get photographed for magazines or newspapers, or like I'll go on even national talk shows. Like I've talked to Glenn Beck or gone on Fox News. And that part of my job sometimes makes me a little bit nervous. Like it's not exactly what I knew I was signing up for when I became a writer. Making Fablehaven happen was actually pretty tough. I mean, even after the publisher had shown some initial interest in the idea, I had to get it written and I was working a full-time job. And so that meant that like when I would take a vacation day from my job, it would be so that I could write all day. I constantly thought about quitting. I constantly thought I was maybe deluding myself that I could ever make writing books my profession. It seemed like something I should just bail out on if I was sane. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I love writing books. I love it. I would do it even just as a hobby, even if I didn't share it with anybody. And so I figured I might as well try. I might as well give it a shot. And thank goodness I did, because it totally worked out. And it's been so exciting to see Fablehaven actually reach an audience and have people respond and like it. It's just this big relief that makes me feel a little less crazy every time somebody says that they had fun with the book.